actually saying no to most people. You've invested in marketing, you've networked, you've told everyone what you do, yet somehow the phone still doesn't ring consistently. Meanwhile, you can see your competitors and with half your experience book clients regularly. So what are they doing that you're not? The answer might surprise you. They're actually saying no to more people than you are. As a business professional, you've likely felt that uncomfortable twinge when someone asks who your ideal client is. Your mind races through all the different types of people you could help, and before you know it, you're saying something like, anyone who needs my services. Or, really, I can help all kinds of businesses. So this response feels safe. It feels like you're keeping your options open, maximizing your potential pool of customers. After all, turning away potential business seems like leaving money on the table. Right? Wrong. This instinct, this fear of missing out on even a single potential customer is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make in business. It's the marketing equivalent of trying to catch fish by spreading a net across the entire ocean instead of finding fish where the fish actually swim. The truth is uncomfortable but powerful. When you try to speak to everyone, you end up connecting with no one. When my wife and I started our first business in Texas offering custom window treatments, we knew the number one priority was going to be getting new customers. And in the early days, you're grateful for every customer you get, no matter if they're a good fit or not. You start to do things that are maybe not related to your core offerings because you need the revenue to pay the bills. The problem was, it was taking us away from our most profitable customers, the ones that would and could really make a difference to our business. And what little networking I did was through the Chamber of Commerce, and when asked who my ideal customer was, I used to joke, anyone that owns a home with windows in it. Guess what? Not too many referrals or introductions. So what actually happens when you market to everyone? And let's get specific about what marketing to everyone really costs you. These aren't just theoretical problems. They're the real, tangible reasons your business growth has stalled. Your message becomes invisible. Think about the last time you saw a generic advertisement that said something like quality service for all your needs. Did you even finish reading it? Probably not. Your brain filtered it out immediately because it didn't speak to any specific problem you were facing. And that's exactly what happens when you try to appeal to everyone. Your potential clients tune you out like white noise. They scroll past your social media posts, they delete your emails, they forget your name in 5 minutes after meeting you at a networking event. Why? Because nothing about your message made them think, this person gets my specific situation. You're shooting in the dark with your marketing budget. Every dollar you spend on marketing that reaches the wrong people is a dollar wasted. And when you don't know exactly who you're trying to reach, most of your marketing dollars are reaching the wrong people. Now consider how this plays out in practice. You run ads that get impressions but no clicks because they're showing to people who don't need what you offer. You attend networking events when nobody there is your ideal client. You post content on social media that maybe gets a few likes but never leads to any business. And you invest in a website that looks great but doesn't speak to anyone specific. And without a clearly defined audience, you're essentially throwing darts blindfolded. You might hit something eventually, but it's going to take a lot more throws and cost a lot more money than if you could actually see the target. Your best offer will still fail. And here's the part that stings the most. Even when you create something genuinely valuable, it can completely flop if you present it to the wrong audience. Here's an example that kind of illustrates this principle. We got 2 financial advisors. The first spent months developing a comprehensive retirement planning workshop specifically designed for people coming up to retirement. The content was excellent, detailed strategies for maximizing Social Security benefits, tax-efficient withdrawal strategies, and estate planning basics. She even offered the first session completely free to attract. She promoted it heavily at a local young professionals networking group where she was a member. The turnout, 3 people out of a group with 200 active members. What went wrong? Well, her workshop content was valuable and her delivery was excellent. The problem wasn't the quality of what she was offering. The problem was simple. She was pitching this retirement planning to people in their late 20s and early 30s who were really probably focused on paying off student loans and buying their first homes. Retirement was literally decades away for them. It wasn't even on their radar. Meanwhile, another financial advisor in her firm offered the exact same workshop to a 55-plus community centre and had to turn people away because the room hit capacity. Same offer, same quality, completely different results. The only variable that changed was the audience. It doesn't matter how good your offer is if you're presenting it to the wrong audience. This same dynamic plays out in your business every single day, just less obviously. You might have the perfect solution for someone's problem, but if you're pitching it to people who don't have that problem, your solution might as well not exist. And the real reason your competitors are winning, those competitors I mentioned earlier, the ones who seem to book clients effortlessly despite having less experience than you, well, they're not better at what they do. They're not working harder. They've just figured out something critical that you haven't yet. They know exactly who they're talking to, who they're targeting. And when you're crystal clear about who you serve, 3 powerful things happen. First, your message becomes magnetic to the right people. Instead of generic statements about quality and service, you can speak directly to their specific pain points. You can use the exact words your ideal clients use when they describe their problems. You can show that you understand their unique situation in a way that makes them think, this person is talking directly to me. Second, your marketing becomes a lot more efficient. You stop wasting money on audiences that will never buy from you. You know exactly which networking events to attend. You know which platforms your ideal clients use. You know what kind of content they consume. Every marketing dollar goes further because it's reaching the right people. And third, and in my world, the most important part, you become referable. When someone asks your satisfied clients who they should recommend, it's much easier for them to think of someone if you have a clear specialty. Oh, you need help with X? You have to talk to Sarah. She specializes in exactly that. Or compare that to, Sarah's great. She does a lot of different things, which usually leads nowhere. It's a mindset shift that changes everything. The hardest part of focused marketing isn't the mechanics. It's not about creating customer personas or market research. Those are very important and you should do them. The hardest part is the psychological. You need to develop the discipline to say who you do not want to work with. And it feels so wrong at first. It feels like you're limiting your potential. It feels risky, especially when a business is already inconsistent and you're going through a feast and famine cycle. But here's what actually happens. When you say no to working with everyone, you create space to say yes to the people who perfectly fit what you offer. These perfect fit clients, they close faster because they see immediate value. They pay better because they understand they're getting specialized expertise. They stay longer because you solve their problems. They refer more people because you've created such a clear position in their minds about what you do and for whom. And they require less hand-holding because your process is designed specifically for them. The math is simple. It's better to serve 10 perfect clients than 30 mediocre ones. The perfect clients are more profitable, more enjoyable to work with, and more likely to send you referrals. So how do you find your perfect match? How do you actually get this clarity? How do you identify who you should focus on and who you should turn away? The best way is to start with your best clients. Look at your current and past clients. Which ones did you enjoy working with the most? Which projects went smoothly? Which clients got the best results? Which ones referred other people to you? These aren't random. These are patterns in who you work best with, and those patterns point towards your ideal audience. And get brutally specific. Here's where most people get vague again. They'll say things like small business owners or people who need finance advice. That's really not specific enough. You need to ask questions like, what industry are they in? What stage of business are they at? What specific problems keep them up at night? What have they already tried that hasn't worked? What's their decision-making process like? How do they prefer to consume information? What are their goals for the next year? The more specific you get, the more powerful your marketing becomes. Yes, this means you'll exclude people. That's exactly the point. You can test your clarity with this question. It's a simple test. If you bumped into someone at a coffee shop and they asked what you do, could you describe your ideal client so clearly that they'd immediately think of someone specific to refer to you? If your description is vague enough that they needed to think, about it or keep you in mind. You're not clear enough yet. You want them to say, oh, I know exactly who needs to talk to you. Let me make an introduction right now. And what this looks like in practice is how it plays out in the real world. Imagine those two financial advisors, both are competent, experienced, generally want to help people. The first says, I help individuals and businesses with their financial planning needs. I can assist with investments, retirement planning, insurance, estate planning. And the second says, I help physicians in their first 5 years of practice pay off their student loans strategically while building wealth for the future. Now, if you're a third-year doctor drowning in student debt and you overhear both of these descriptions at a networking event, which advisor are you going to remember? Which one are you going to ask for a card? Which one will you actually call? The second, obviously. Why? Because they demonstrated they understand your specific situation. They showed expertise in your exact problem. They made you feel like they've helped people just like you before. Meanwhile, the first description is so generic it's already been forgotten. This isn't about the first being bad at their job. It's about the second understanding the marketing paradox. By focusing on a smaller audience, they become more valuable to that audience. It's basically the profitability of focus. What happens to your business when you gain this level of clarity? Your conversion rates skyrocket. When your message speaks directly to someone's specific situation, they don't need to be convinced. They're already halfway to yes before the first conversation ends. Your pricing power increases. Specialists can charge more than generalists. When you're the go-to expert for a specific problem, you're the best known in that one particular area, price doesn't become an objection anymore. Your client acquisition costs plummet. Focused marketing is efficient marketing. You waste less money reaching the wrong people. You get more referrals because you're memorable and referable. And your time becomes more valuable. You're not spending hours chasing leads that were never a good fit. You're not taking meetings with people who can't afford you or don't value what you do. And the math is compelling. You can sell more and earn more profit with less effort when you know exactly who you're serving. And the referral multiplication effect is huge. Look, here's an overlooked benefit of focused marketing. It creates a multiplication effect with referrals. When you serve a clearly defined audience, something interesting happens. Your clients know other people just like them. Physicians know other physicians. Real estate investors know other real estate investors. Restaurant owners know other restaurant owners. This means every satisfied client in your focused niche has the potential to refer multiple other ideal clients to you. They're connected to exactly the people you want to reach. Compare this to having a scattered client base across different industries and demographics. Each client might know one or two people who could potentially use your services, but the connections are random and unpredictable. A focused approach turns your client base into a networked referral engine. Each new client you serve opens doors to more ideal clients through their professional and personal networks. And we've got to address that fear, right? I know what you're thinking. Some version of, but what if I turn away someone who could have been a good client? What if I narrow down too much and there just aren't enough people in my target market? And these fears are normal. I've been there, but they're totally unfounded. First, narrowing your marketing focus doesn't mean you have to turn away business that comes to you. If someone outside your ideal profile reaches out and seems like a good fit, you can still work with them. Focused marketing is about where you direct your energy and resources, not about who you're allowed to serve. And second, you'll be surprised at how large a narrow market actually is. There's an abundance of clients out there. If you think you've narrowed it too much, you probably haven't narrowed it enough. There are more people in your specific niche than you could ever serve. Why else do we have so many people doing the business? And third, consider what you're doing right now. Is your current market to everyone approach working? Are you getting consistent quality leads? If not, what do you really have to lose by trying something different? So when you focus on serving a specific audience exceptionally well, you don't shrink your business, you multiply it. So your next step. This may feel uncomfortable, but you need to make a decision about who you're really trying to serve. Not everyone, not anyone who needs my services, not all kinds of clients, but one specific person with one specific problem you're uniquely equipped to solve. And this is how you stop wasting money on ineffective marketing. This is how you stop losing to competitors who aren't better than you. This is how you build a business where clients seek you out instead of you chasing them down. The question isn't whether focused marketing works. The evidence is overwhelming that it does. The question is, do you have the courage to implement it? So here's what I want you to do right now. Don't stop watching the video. Don't walk away. You can watch the video again if you need to. Don't go on to the next thing and forget about this. I want you to take 10 minutes and answer this question. Who is the one specific person you're trying to serve? And what would change in your business if you focused only on them? Write it down. Be specific. Include details about their situation, their problems, their goals. Make it so clear that if you describe this person to someone else, they can immediately think of a real individual who fits that description. That clarity, that focus, that willingness to say no to everyone else so you can say yes to serving this person exceptionally well. That's what stands between where you are now. Excuse me. That's what stands between where you are now and the consistent business growth you've been chasing. The paradox of marketing is that the narrower you focus, the wider your impact becomes. It's counterintuitive, it's uncomfortable, but it absolutely works. The only question left is, are you ready to stop marketing to everyone and start connecting with the right people? Okay, what's your challenge? What's your biggest challenge in narrowing down your ideal client? Drop a comment below. Let's work through this together. This is Steve Black with Let's Talk Referrals. Thanks for listening.